Manhattan Project, a name that sounds like a construction effort, a quiet government initiative. But behind those words lies a story so immense, so staggering, that it altered the very fabric of history. It began not with ambition, but with fear. Fear that Nazi Germany might unlock a terrible secret, the ability to split the atom and unleash energy beyond imagination. This fear gripped the minds of scientists, men like Leo Szilard, Enrico Fermi, and Albert Einstein, and their warning reached the highest office in America. The United States responded, quietly, urgently. And in 1942, under the veil of absolute secrecy, the Manhattan Project was born. No flags, no parades, no headlines, just silence. And the silent recruitment of the best minds in the world. Across vast stretches of America, entire cities were built from scratch, hidden from maps, guarded like fortresses. Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Hanford, Washington, Los Alamos, New Mexico. Places that would never be the same again. Tens of thousands worked day and night. Few knew what they were building. They enriched uranium, purified plutonium, ran experiments, calibrated machines that no textbook had ever described. This was science with no guidebook, only one goal: to beat time. At the center of it all stood J. Robert Oppenheimer, brilliant, eccentric, charismatic, tormented, a man who spoke poetry as easily as he solved equations. Under his leadership, Los Alamos became the cradle of the bomb, and then came Trinity. In the early hours of July 16, 1945, the desert stood still. Then, in a blinding instant, night turned to day. A fireball erupted, a tower of flame reached toward the heavens, and humanity entered a new era. The earth shook. Men fell silent. The sky burned with a power no one had witnessed before. They had succeeded. The bomb worked. But the question now was, what next? Barely 3 weeks later, that question was answered, not in theory, but in the heart of a city. Hiroshima. A single bomb, little boy, released destruction once reserved for gods. Tens of thousands died in an instant. The sky turned black, shadows burned into concrete. 3 days later, Nagasaki. Fat Man brought the same death. The war ended. But the price was beyond calculation. Some called it victory, others called it horror. For the first time, mankind had used the power of the universe as a weapon, not just to end a war, but to reshape the world. The Manhattan Project was a success, technically, militarily, but morally, spiritually, the debate still rages. Oppenheimer returned to civilian life, a hero draped in doubt. As the Cold War loomed, he was cast aside, labeled a security risk, a threat to the very nation he had served. His legacy became one of brilliance and burden. The scientists had cracked the atom, but they had also cracked open a door. Behind it lay annihilation, mutually assured destruction, an age where peace was preserved not by hope, but by fear. The Manhattan Project gave birth to the nuclear age, an age where power came with a terrible responsibility, where a single decision could end civilization, and where knowledge once gained could never be undone. Even now, the echoes of that secret war reach us, in arsenals buried underground, in treaties, summits, and standoffs, in the minds of those who know what the world is capable of, and what it must never allow again. Because the Manhattan Project was not just a project, it was a threshold, a point of no return. And from the moment the first atom split, the world was never the same.